IHTM Sports.
Welcome, folks, to Indian Hill Braves Gymnasium. I'm Rob Young with Brian Shaw, bringing you tonight's Friday night action here, where the Indian Hill Braves will be taking on the visiting Reading Blue Devils. Hey, Brian, tonight is a great night for the Braves. It's last game before the new year. The Braves are coming off a big win against Marymount and a big win against Madeira. Obviously, they've got three losses so far this year. They lost to Deer Park in league. They lost a close one to St. X, and they lost what was their first loss? I can't even remember.
Yeah, I guess the thing I think of first, though, in this game is exam week is over, and you got a bunch of young guys that have really been at it in the classroom, and they had practice all week. And the basketball stepped back, but there was a lot at these kids. So this is the night. Not only are exams over, after tonight, the team doesn't practice again until December 26th. And I think these guys are ready to have fun.
So we're going to take a little moment here for the national anthem, and we'll be right back for the introduction of the teams after that.
Coaches and fans who practice only positive support before, during, and after all contests. We hope you enjoy tonight's game and help to make it a rewarding experience. Remember, good sportsmanship is everyone's responsibility. Be loud, be proud, and be positive. The officials assigned to this contest have been selected according to the procedures adopted by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and the Cincinnati Hills League. Your officials for tonight's contest are Terry Dirks, Greg Thorpe, and Eric Berger. As we live in a country like no other, we ask everyone to please rise, renew your caps for the playing of our national anthem by Indian Hills Pep Band.
So, Brian, we're getting ready for the introduction of the teams. We'll start with the Reading Blue Devils first as they announce the cheerleaders. Let's talk a little bit about so the Braves started the season off with a great, strong win against Anderson.
Right.
Then they traveled to St. X and lost to St. X, but in a close game.
Right.
A game that I don't think St. X expected that kind of fight. And really, if it wasn't for some mental mistakes, poor shooting, and some turnovers,
right,
that game would have been a win for the Braves. They were winning halfway through the fourth quarter.
And, Rob, I think it's important to point out that is a much improved St. X team. That's not the St. X team that we've seen the last 4 or 5 years that has really struggled since Coach Martin left. That's a much improved athletic St. X team. 1,600 kids. You got to have 8 that can play. And they found them, and they've got the coaching, and that is an improved situation. So that's a terrific backdrop for what we see getting into league play, going and playing in an environment like that against a good team. This Braves team has learned a lot. This Braves team in the summer, in June, really competed well against Lakota West, against Oak Hills, against Elder. I can remember being up in Lakota West and seeing this squad go out and out-physical the Elder Panthers up at Lakota West High School. So, I mean, this team has really prepared itself for league play and beyond, in the Division II tournament.
Yeah. So we got our Braves starting lineup coming up here. Got Ty Thornton at forward, number 2. You got Trey Lopez at guard, number 3. Number 5, Wyatt Walk at guard. Number 4 at guard. Number 12, Mateo. And then Luke Robinson, the 6'9" beast inside. So the Braves, it's kind of interesting. You got Deer Park, who is 5-0, 3-0 in the league, going tonight against Wyoming.
Right. Beach, come on up here, fella. What's up?
Who's 2-0 in the league and 3-0 overall because their season, they had to postpone 2 games because of football.
Yeah.
Rumor on the street coming into the season was Evan Prater was going to enroll early at UC and not play this season, but he's played a couple games, so it'll be interesting to see when we take on Wyoming when we come back, whether or not he's playing or not playing, because the rumor still is that he's going to enroll in UC in January. But
that would change the league completely. I mean, that's the toughest matchup I would say that this league has had in as long as I can remember. There's really no good answer on the defensive end for Evan Prater.
And the Braves win the tip. Ball out to the wing, back to the center of the court to Lopez, over to Wyatt Watt as the Braves work on this in and out game to Luke Robinson. Luke gets tied up, dishes it back outside to Mateo. It's off the mark. Rebounded by Walks, who goes up strong and gets the first 2 points of the game.
There's a lot of things in that possession, Rob, to like about the Braves. One is the inside out between Robinson and Lopez, and then Wyatt Walks. He's been all over the boards this year, as well as last year.
Walk with another rebound. That's 2 rebounds for Walk. Lopez bringing the ball up, driving inside, dishes it out. So you're going to see this Braves team is a little different than a lot of the Braves teams. They're very athletic, very fast for the most part. Got some good guys coming off the bench. You've got Young, who's coming off that his second ACL surgery, 3rd knee surgery in his high school career, who was cleared a week and a half ago. So this will be his 3rd game back. You've got Amari Whitehead coming off the bench. And then obviously that's the senior class coming off the bench. And then you've got guys like Charlie Summerall coming off the bench,
right,
who brings a nice physical game. Rebound by Luke Robinson. Still a 2-0 game for the Braves.
Rob, one thing that you notice about this Braves team, when's the last time you can remember only one football player that started for this Braves basketball team?
Yeah.
These guys have been together in the open gym all fall, and this is a group that really likes to make that extra pass, and they got a lot of guys that can score the basketball.
Amari Whitehead's coming in, checking in for Luke Robinson.
By the way,
you're going to see a huge speed difference in this game now with Amari in here.
Yeah, apologize for the voice. I feel great. It's just sometimes you have a voice, sometimes you don't.
I know what you were doing. You were watching your son play on TV, and you were yelling at the TV screen. Let's be honest, Brian. Be honest.
No.
I heard they could hear you at Swarthmore from your house in here.
Well, now
in Cincinnati.
Last time they played was last Tuesday night. I was there, but they get some time off for exams. It's not Kentucky, that's for sure. Got to take those exams.
So Redding with the ball on the baseline inbound, getting it in. Braves bring a real soft half-court, full-court pressure there.
Not sure where Redding wants to get the ball. Looks like they had a couple of good opportunities.
I just didn't take it. This is a young Redding squad, as you said, and a fairly small Redding squad. One of the Redding players getting called for the. That was on Jack Nash.
Yeah, this Redding squad, as you said, young team, and I think Coach Stidham, thinking, it's okay to struggle a little bit with some younger players and get these guys learning and get them better.
So the Braves have a 5-0 lead with with Watt with the first basket. Now Trey Lopez taking a three, and he's off the mark, rebounded by Mateo Lopez.
Yeah, this team will shoot the three quite a bit, Rob. And the great thing about it, they're all very active. A lot of loose balls, 50-50 balls coming off the rim.
Watts with nice penetration in the lane for a two-pointer.
Wyatt Walks getting exactly where he wanted to get to. Saw him quite a bit in the summer and in the fall. Wyatt really trying to figure out how far can he get into defenses and where does he get his best shots. He is a very smart player and always willing to kind of test the limits.
Great defense by the Braves. And we're going to see Young come off the bench here.
Mama Holmes. I tell you what, one of the all-time greats. And if you're a parent that doesn't want to carry a camera, you got to love Linda Holmes. You got to love her for so many reasons. So
Mama
many
Holmes.
reasons.
Known in this community as Mama Holmes.
Yep.
So ball turned over by Redding. Young's coming in for Thornton. So it looks like Coach Birch is going to do what he's been doing with Young for the last two games, which is kind of bringing him in around the 4 or 3 minute mark, getting him some time, bringing him back into this game a little cautiously. If you talk to Young, he'll tell you that he feels better than he's ever felt in the last 2 years. Lopez with the drive, off the glass in the mark. You know,
nice finish with the left hand there too.
If we look at the Braves' first 5 games, where they struggled was actually in the paint. Here goes Whitehead trying to dunk it, misses it. Followed up with.
I tell you what.
By
the athleticism on that steal and to be able to jump over the opponent. I think he used all up right there on the steal. Terrific play.
I think the Braves.
You know, one thing you just saw there too from Mateo. Mateo has become a scorer. You know, I think last year you could argue that he was more of a shooter, but his ability to get in mid-range, be deliberate around the basket. Oh, we got something going on here with the Reading Blue Devil. We need a timeout here.
Probably a contact.
Yeah. Coach Stidham asking for an official's timeout. Apparently there was some contact. I mean, I would imagine.
So, got Luke Robinson back in. Mateo sitting down, and Lopez back in, and Thornton back in. So the tallest player on this Reading team is number 13, and he checks in at 6'3". Blue Devils called for the travel there.
Yeah, we mentioned how young this team is. And really, you know, you look at some of the leaders on this team, the guys that are getting, a lot of shots. Zion Scott, a junior. Logan Stidham, a sophomore. Louis Hess, a sophomore. Jordan Feld, a sophomore. So these are really, really young players. The Braves doing what you should do, be very deliberate, play this in a half-court game and get good looks.
Off the mark, no rebounders. Blue Devils get the ball, bring it back up across the mid-court mark, working at setting their offense up.
And one of the things, for the Braves this year, we talk about their ability to be a different team with some of the taller players, Luke Robinson. How do you use Luke Robinson? Perfect situation here where Luke is on a guy that's not going to shoot the basketball. The tough matchup for him is somebody that can step away and shoot the basketball.
So Mateo's coming in for Lopez.
So as long as the Braves can identify that, we get to use him on the offensive end. Looks like Stidham back in the game. Everything's okay.
Got Robinson in the game, Young in the game, Thornton in the game, Lopez, Mateo.
There's the sophomore,
Walk,
coach's son.
Nice teardrop.
Yeah, getting that over a 6'9".
So it's a 13-2 game with 2 minutes left here in the first quarter. Out to Robinson, who's going to take the three and drains it.
Now, you know it's unfair. Life is unfair. When the big guy shoots a three and misses, you know, there's a big deal. When the guards miss a three, nobody cares.
Right.
So there's always pressure on the big man when he shoots that three. Glad to see Luke get that one.
I guess they're going to call it. That should be over in the back, but the refs call the Braves touched it.
Stidham with a deep three. Good rebound by Young. Good outlet. Ty pushing it.
Into Robinson, who puts it up off the mark. Young with the tip.
Luke with a great start on that with the power dribble. Squared his shoulders up and then reversed it. I'll tell you what, Luke Robinson really, sky's the limit. And the simpler his game is, the more effective he is.
Absolutely.
Maury all over the wing.
Three's up, off, rebounded
Here
by
we go.
Lopez.
Here we
looking
go.
For Thornton. Thornton in, up, and good.
If there's one thing this world Ty Thornton loves above all other things, left foot, dunk it with the right hand. He just didn't have that opportunity. Wisely, the sophomore, the youngster, showing some wisdom and putting that in, just laying it in.
Well, you know what Birch does if you try to dunk it and you miss it.
You know, there haven't been that many players for me to know.
No, I think right now you've actually only got 3 guys on the squad that can dunk it. It's Young, even though he had an ACL, he's already dunking again. You've got Thornton and Whitehead who can dunk it.
Yeah.
Luke Robinson at 6'9" can't dunk.
Well, Thornton can dunk it, but he can do it with just like catch, one-step power dribble up and, you know, but it's left foot, right hand. Yep. And it just what was set up there for him.
Yep.
And love the fact, though, he put his team ahead of himself to make sure he finished.
Lopez drives in, dumps it off to his brother Mateo, up off the mark. And that's going to be called off the back of the backboard. It'll be Reading ball.
Charlie Summerall in the game. Charlie, thus far, has been one of the most efficient players in high school basketball in the city of Cincinnati. Charlie Summerall just seems to always do something positive.
And that'll be the end of the first quarter. The Braves are up 18-2. You know, when we look at this team for Reading, like we said, they're young. You know, I think they've only got one senior on this team, and that's Josh Lawson, number 23, who I don't know that's been out on the court yet.
Yeah. Well, Lawson, a good player, but, you know, you got to go down a little ways after the Stidhams, the Hesses, the Felds, Andre Madison. You know, I mean, there are a lot of guys doing a lot of things for this team that are underclassmen. And, you know, I think for Reading, you know, Rob, the school, think about this, being 2 years without a home floor.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's not just game night. That was, you know, for us to have to go over to Sports Plus for games, okay. But these are people that are going. These are people that are going to practice every day. They got to get a bag and get in a car to go to practice every day. So this program, I see things looking up. Beautiful new facility, the school, the gym, and then the other thing I think that's terrific for this is an open enrollment school located in the very center of the city of Cincinnati. I mean, if you take from all points, it's a 15-minute drive in there. So watch out for the Reading Blue Devils. I mean, in this day where kids are coming from everywhere to play in schools that are open enrollment and some that are not, I mean, this Reading team, they got everything they need.
And their new facility here is absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, now not sure that the parents in the school district with kids that have been playing together since youth are going to be up for having 5 or 6 guys come in and be the top 5 or 6 guys off the
with the rebound.
in the rotation, but they might be good with 2 or 3.
Drives by walk out to Lopez off the mark. If there's an area of improvement that the Braves need, it's their overall shooting. I'm not too worried about the 3, but as a team, we're shooting under 45% from the floor, and that's including in the paint. And if you actually go back and watch the film against some of those losses, we were lucky to be shooting 25%. Nice shot by Whitewash from the 3.
Well,
at 21-2.
Yeah, I'd say this about this team, though. You got a lot of guys that extend from range, and it does do a lot of good things for your offense. You look at the effective rate once you put the 3 ball into it, you multiply it by 1.5. The effective shooting percentage is actually pretty good.
Redding with the rebound, trying to come up with a quick, fast start. And it's going to be a dead ball going to Redding, and Young and Robinson are coming back in.
And, you look at those 2 losses. Again, these are things that make you better. St. X loss, no question, makes them better. The kids didn't accept it, and they shouldn't. They're very capable of beating St. X. I think the kids probably feel like, they want to win their league. Yeah. They want to beat teams in their league. So, obviously, every year they're going to think in terms of winning league games. But the Deer Park game, you look at how that game went down, not because, if you'd have talked about the last couple of years, Indian Hill didn't lose because of turnovers, and Indian Hill didn't lose because of second chance opportunities, which really was the MO for Deer Park the last few years. A little bit different Deer Park team, but a different Indian Hill team as well. Indian Hill, I think, put Deer Park to the line almost 40 times in that game. Tough when a team shoots 40 free throws on their home floor.
Well, it was 44 fouls. We had 3 guys foul out of that game to 14 fouls.
Yeah.
Deer Park only had 14 fouls in the entire game.
Well, and I don't know, didn't see the officiating part of it. Obviously, when you attack like Deer Park does, you're going to get rewarded for that, and I give them a lot of credit. But those are things that Indian Hill can fix. Those are things that you can clean up.
And they didn't have Young in that game.
Yeah.
Who is probably one of the most physical players on this team. Even though he's only 6'4" and about $185, he's able to handle himself against bigger guys, taller and stronger.
That's it. That's it. That's it.
Nice little hook shot by Luke Robinson on the 3rd opportunity.
Luke Robinson doing in a game like this exactly what he should do in a game like this. Love to see that.
Steal by Mateo coming up the court. Driving to the lane, off the mark. Young with the tip in.
Yeah, good job by the Braves to get down the floor. And it's always, you always want those guys that are behind the ball to get down the floor. Run with it. Yeah, great job.
But I think that, the makeup of this team this year with a Robinson on the inside, and you've got Young, Amari Whitehead, who both can play kind of that power forward role. And he's going to get the basket and the foul. But our matchup against teams like Woodward and Hughes and Taft will be completely different this year than last year. Number one, we're a much faster team than we were last year. When you look at the Lopez boys and Thornton and Young and Whitehead, you don't expect a 6'9" guy to be fast. So, but we can pull Luke out and put Watt in, Wyatt Watt in there, and we get faster. Or you put a Charlie Summerall in there, you get faster.
Yeah, Rob, the thing I love about it is in high school basketball, quite often you got 2 or 3 kids that feel like they got the weight of the world on their shoulders, and that doesn't make the game fun. With this Indian Hill team, if Trey Lopez has a bad night, that's not going to kill him. You know, there's unquestionably the leader of the team, one of the best players in the league. He can have a bad night, and it's not going to kill him. Ty could have a bad night, not going to kill him. Wyatt Walks could have. I mean, you can go down the list. There are enough other guys that are capable of doing things.
Thornton called for the travel.
And that's when I really think the whole thing opens up for them as a team. And I think we'll see that here in another couple of weeks, probably a couple of weeks after they get back from Christmas break. I think you'll start to see this team really flourish. And I like how guys are settling into roles. I mean, I like what Josh brings to him. I like what Amari brings to him. You got some guys, Charlie Summerall, guys that are bought in to helping them do nothing more than get a win. And it's really good.
Whitehead with the steal. He's going up the court quickly and goes up strong and is fouled. Young following behind him. What'll be fun is when you get the dynamic of Whitehead and Young on that court at the same time. By far, they are the two fastest guys on this team. But what'll be fun to watch is the way they feed each other, and you'll see that fun inner city kind of alley-oop in, trying to slam it down when they're up in a game like this. I know last weekend Whitehead and Lopez were down at Thomas More for football.
How about that?
Nice putback by Luke Robinson.
You know, I don't think Luke always appreciates just how important those simple things are. I mean, how much he means to this team. Those putbacks are backbreakers. I mean, you go down the floor and you're expecting to get that rebound and come back and cut into this lead.
Three-pointer by number 11, Zion Scott.
Yeah, a lot of dimensions to your point, Rob. A lot of dimensions to this team.
Nice feed by Thornton.
And one of the things
misses the put up.
One of the things you see right there with Ty is a guard that's long enough to be able to see. You know, he can see a Trey Lopez camped out in the paint there.
Yeah.
And these are guys
this is probably one of the
the
longest teams that Indian Hills had in a couple years.
Yeah. Yeah, consistently. You know, and guys that are skilled, guys that catch the ball and face the basket.
Yeah.
You know, simple things like that. But you don't see these passes. You don't see what's available. Great pass there by Wyatt.
Well, you take Thornton, Young, and Robinson, you put them together, fingertip to fingertip, you're probably looking at about a 22, 23-foot wingspan.
Yep.
Between the three of them. Obviously, Robinson with the longest, Young with the second longest, and then Thornton, who's very long and fluid, like you said. And you know, as a sophomore, he moves on that field, sees that court, and sees the other guys on the court very well.
Yeah, Ty, like his older brother, a very good teammate. You know, not a selfish player at all. A guy that really shares the basketball and does quite a bit. The thing I loved about it, they played Marymount last week. Great rebound by Wyatt Walks, two hands. Played at Marymount, put Ty on Marymount's best player, McGowan. It took Ty's focus off of the offensive end of the floor onto the defensive end, freed him up, went out and just played great, just was athletic and just did a great job both ends of the floor. But he has become the guy that I think is probably the best matchup defender of a guy that, you know, is going to guard guards, creators.
And, you know, we've got Jake Summerall, senior, out, one of the three captains of this team. And, you know, this team needs to look at Jake for what he did this summer, you know.
Oh, Jake scored 1,000 points this summer.
But more importantly was his leadership.
Yeah.
When you had Lopez was absent because of football and Young couldn't do anything because he was coming off an ACL surgery. And, you know, quite frankly, for the last 3 years, the two guys that were supposed to be the leaders of this team, and they are leaders of this team, were Lopez and Young as the senior leadership. But Jake really stepped up, kept these younger guys engaged in the summertime, kept them in the gym, kept them playing, and really promoting that open gym time during the summertime,
Yeah.
which, as you know, this is a 5-position skilled sport. You can't just pick it up and be able to hit your shot without work. So the guys put the work in this summer. My hats are off to Summerall for helping them get that done as a senior leader.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, Rob, because he really did. I joke about 1,000 points in the summer, although I think it is true. Yeah, he has become quite a leader, and if you are watching this stream, you probably like sports. And if you like sports, you're probably going to see some Jake Summerall. Jake Summerall, we'll make no bones about it, wants to get into that business. I think he's going to be terrific at it. And really, this is a young man that has just matured and just become a terrific kid, just a terrific young man. And I look forward to what he does next. But he's going to have a lot of fun for the next couple of months with this basketball team.
That into Robinson, who loses the ball.
Coach's son right there, Stidham.
Stidham, nice feed on the inside by Stidham.
Yeah, Stidham.
Number 10.
Stidham may be a sophomore, but he's showing you senior mentality. Very good off the ball, coming to help get that ball, and great pass to finish.
Are there 2 Stidhams on there?
Might be.
Stidham made the basket. Who fed him? It was number 3 that fed him.
No, number 10. Number 10.
Three got the basket?
Yeah, it might have been. I just saw 10 make the pass. Yep. Yeah, Stidham, Dad's the coach, been there for a few years, and Reading family, guys that live just a mile or 2 from the high school.
Got a hold on Trey, and Trey's going to get teed up here if he's not careful.
And, of course, you got the Estep family. We saw one of the Esteps coaching the JV team, played down at Christian Brothers, played for the great Mike Price in the summer. And then, his dad, Bob, is a coach and teacher at the 8th grade level.
Off the mark, rebounded by Watts, who's bringing it up the court. Gets it over to Thornton, who pulls up at the 3, and off the mark and rebounded by Reading. Intercepted by Trey Lopez, who drives up the court, goes up, misses the lay-in. Reading with the ball, feeding it up court, number 3. Jordan Feld, who gets him. Who made that basket?
Yeah, the number 24.
And that's Julian Beeman.
Yeah, this game's got a little bit of up and down pace to it, which I think has allowed Reading to hit some uncontested shots.
So with 4 seconds left here in the half, we've got a 33-13 ball game for the Braves on a Friday night.
Marion Kane in the game.
Before Christmas, with Marion Kane back in the game for the Braves. Shots up, off the mark. So the Braves are going to take a 20-point lead into the locker room at half.
Yeah, Rob, I think we saw the maturity of this Indian Hill team. I think we saw the balance of this team. A lot of guys making contributions here in the first half. And expect the Braves to come out, play a really solid third quarter. And then I think we'll see this game start to open up. Fourth quarter, get a lot of guys some opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. Got Wyatt Watt with 9 leading the team with scoring, but you've got Lopez with 2. You've got Thornton with 2, and then you've got 2 guys with 7.
Yeah.
So, and they took the scores off the board. So
really, I mean, it speaks to the team.
Balanced.
There are years if you've got a kid like some of those names you just mentioned, and they only have 2 points at the half, you're in trouble. That's not the way it is with this year's Indian Hill Braves team. Great balance, and got to be fun for these kids to come to the gym every day.
Well, we're going to take a short intermission here. I'm Rob Young with Brian Shaw here at Indian Hill Television Network, bringing you the live action on a Friday night here on a cool December evening in southwestern Ohio. We'll see you soon. Go take an intermission here, and we'll be back in about 9 minutes. Welcome back, folks, to Indian Hill Gymnasium, where the Braves lead the Reading Blue Devils 33-13 here at the beginning of the second half. You got your starters back in. Mateo Lopez opens it up with a three-point shot to make it a 36-13 game.
Skip pass from his brother. You got to like that. Older brother giving it to the younger brother. Speaking of younger brothers, older brothers, I see Jalen Thornton in the front row.
Got some alumni here. You got Thornton's here. You've got Johnny Baltima's here. Let's see who else you got. You got Tennyson Holmes is here. Lopez off the mark. Rebound by Robinson up, but he's fouled.
Love that. That was a foul. It's a foul that doesn't always get called when you got a big guy.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that they called it. Luke Robinson getting rewarded for being close to the basket, getting that putback.
Well, Brian, let's see if we can get some updates on scores around the league.
I heard we have one from Deer Park.
Seeing if I can get official scores from around the league. We heard that at Deer Park, well, here's the official live score. Second quarter, Wyoming's up 27-20 over Deer Park. Obviously here at Indian Hill Reading game, Indian Hill is up 37-13 where Robinson connects on. Did he make both those?
Absolutely, 37-13. How about Coach Rooks? Comes back to the league after being at Lakota West, takes a year off, comes back, says, hey, what's the big deal? I'll go to Deer Park and win. 27-20 so far. See how it goes from there.
Robinson with a man move to the inside. That is a man move, Mr.
Love it.
Shaw.
Love it. And I love the fact you got a guard on the same side of the floor, so if there's help or he has to give the ball up, he's got a direct line to see who to throw it to.
Robinson comes out on the ball.
Yeah, I'd like to welcome Coach Rooks back. And at the same time,
Block shot by Lopez. Lopez looking up the court. Brings it up, dishes off to Thornton, brings it back to the top as the Braves set in, feeding it into Robinson, who gets doubled, dumps it out to Walks, who's off the mark, rebounded Lopez. To Walks, who drives up and in.
So much good. First of all, the big man getting into a spot on the floor where it draws help, being able to find the open guy. Guy misses, no big deal, because it comes off long. It's a 50-50 ball. The athleticism takes over. Get a second shot. That's Braves basketball right now. It's a good year to be a Brave. Would like to welcome Coach Rooks back to the CHL. And at the same time, we're going to miss Coach Edmonds. The Edmonds family, they're not going anywhere. They're still at games. But Coach Edmonds stepping aside to be able to watch Joey Edmonds, who's had a terrific start for Findlay, the Oilers. Division II basketball, really high level. Grown men playing up there. The team is battling right now, but Joey Edmonds has been terrific. And I know Timmy is enjoying every bit of that. Earl the Pearl's enjoying every bit of that. And we're going to miss him. Angie Edmonds, it's been a while since she was coaching the girls over Wyoming. First year without Tim Edmonds in a while. And we're just thinking about the family.
So Reading with the ball. Braves bringing the full court press. Which is something the Braves have not done a lot of in the past, but with this athletic team where you've got the Lopez boys, you've got Thornton out there, obviously you've got Wyatt Walks, you got Luke Robinson who can anchor that full court press back in the paint to keep everybody in front of them. You have the right personnel to run a full court press now.
Yeah. Well, and that comes down to depth. You know, you just if you trust these guys on the back end, then it comes down to depth. Do you have enough depth? Are you playing enough guys to be able to do it?
Reading's got a little bit of a challenge getting this ball in.
Ben Bader here. Basketball alums. I saw the Madeira killer. Brad Lewis was here earlier to see his younger brother.
Zion for Reading with that shot over top of Thornton. Nice feed by Lopez into Robinson.
You
So
know,
that's Luke's 12th point of the game.
and rightfully we're giving Luke a lot of credit, but you know what? It's a two-way street. These guards have gotten so much better at being able to play with a big man because a lot of them really have not had the opportunity to play with a big that plays in the post. Got to give the guards credit. Great job there by Mateo Lopez.
Jordan Feld with the three. Lopez with the feed into Watt, who puts it in and scores. Nice rebound by Thornton, who feeds it up to Lopez, who pulls it back out, gives it to Watt, who goes in and draws the foul. That'll be 2 shots for Wyatt. Watt at the line. And we're going to have 2 Braves coming in here. You're going to have Young and Whitehead coming in, the high-flying Twins.
Yeah, Wyatt walks, the complete game, and it's a guy that gets to the line a lot.
Hey, you know
Very
what I like
physical
what
player.
they're doing here in this second half? They're playing mouse in the house game here. Have you noticed, the mouse has been in the house. It's a feed into the big guy. The defense drops in, the mouse comes in on the backside, and the big man dishes it off to the mouse in the house, and they get the 2.
Yeah. Yeah, this has been a great quarter so far for the Braves.
So Young and Whitehead come in off the bench. Got a timeout called by...
Yeah, it looks like Coach Birch wants to talk about some things. Also, we're thinking about the CHL. We got to talk a little CHL basketball here. The Madeira Mustangs, Coach Rockwell, with a squad that's a little bit younger this year, and got a freshman, Jack Ravek's younger brother, playing at the varsity level. His other twin brother playing JV. And in all honesty, I'm hearing great things about both of them. Both of them going to be terrific players for the Madeira program.
I will say that they probably will be better basketball players than Jack.
Wow. Now, having said that, Jack was going for about 15 and 10 as a freshman, a 4-time CHL first-team player.
Yeah, but when you look at that team that he played on as a freshman, he really didn't have anybody on that team other than him. And that's why he was putting up those kind of numbers.
Well, I'll tell you what he did have. He had guards shooting a lot of threes, and Jack was putting it in about 60% of the time they gave it to him.
Yeah.
So I don't know about all that, but Jack Ravek was tremendous.
Oh, he's
but
a tremendous athlete.
This is a different group, different kids. They got their own story to write, but now Jack Ravek.
Different coach.
Yeah, Jack Ravek. Jack Ravek could have scored 2,000 points if they threw it to him.
Watts to Whitehead, but it's picked off by Redding. And Whitehead gets called for the foul.
Yeah, every time the pace of this game steps up a little bit, Braves getting a little raggedy.
So that's his first foul. He's got 5 points. You got Watts got 17. Robinson's got 12. Lopez still only has 2 points for the game, but I'm going to guess he's double digits on assists already.
Yeah, this is a Braves team that has done a terrific job on the year, coming into the game with just about 12.5 turnovers per game. It's been a pretty clean team, and I suspect it'll get even better as the conference season wears on.
Lopez with the rebound. Young down to Lopez. Young cutting through the lane, pushing his defender off of him, scooping around, gets the ball out at the 3, puts it up, off the mark, rebound by Thornton, who gets fouled.
Yeah, Ty, understandably not happy with that foul.
Yeah, that was that's what you would call a blatant foul.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not happy you've beat me. I'm going to rip your arm off.
Yeah. There are other guys that when they were sophomores may not have handled that as well as Ty just did.
No, one of them's out there on the court right now.
Tennyson Holmes the future senator of the state of Ohio, the great state of Ohio, sitting down there enjoying all the action. Tried to get Tennyson Holmes for years. Would you come out and just put pressure on the basketball defensively and then see what happens from there?
Turnover on the Braves.
Tennyson always declined.
So you got the Braves bringing some soft full court pressure on the ball. Young up top on the ball. Whitehead up on the ball now. Summerall comes out to apply pressure. Walls up. Blocked. Whitehead with the ball. Coming up the court. Not called for the foul. You got Lopez with the ball. Going in. And he draws the foul.
Trey Lopez, if you are an athlete, Trey Lopez has to be one of your all-time favorites. You know, you just look at how hard this guy plays, and you look at what a competitor this guy is. And
he is gritty.
Just enjoy every bit of this senior season.
Off the mark. So Thornton's going to come into the game for Lopez.
Whichever football team it is that wisely steps up and gets it finished, and that may have already happened, I don't know, with Trey Lopez, is going to be very thankful that they did.
I don't think he's committed yet. I know last weekend he and Whitehead were down at Thomas More for an official visit.
That's like Mickey Mantle and Whitey Ford in Manhattan.
Summerall ties that ball up. It's kicked back out by the Blue Devils. Young knocks it away.
Interesting, too, you look at all the different pieces of this Braves basketball team. You know, just the combinations that they're able to put on the floor. Charlie Summerall capable of being a post defender. You know, Mateo and Ty capable of handling the basketball. You just got so many ways to put this team on the floor and to get really valuable minutes for guys like Wachs and Lopez, who are really giving you everything when they're out there.
Young with three, off the mark. Whitehead with the rebound.
Yeah, Amari, really happy to see Amari playing the role and giving this team energy. And there's been quite a bit of scoring, you know, in the early part of this season from Amari, in addition to everything else he does. And he's going to go to the line here. Amari Whitehead, a senior also, a young man that moved from New Jersey to Cincinnati a few years back and has found a home here.
Yep.
The kids love him. I think he really appreciates where he is. And, you know, I think this is another case of Indian Hill will have been good for this young man's prospects going forward.
So Young and Summerall are going to come out of the game. You're going to have Summerall Sr., Lopez Sr., and Marion Kane, and Wyatt Watt, and Amari Whitehead, who sinks his second shot. But Amari's going to come in, and you're going to have Robinson come back out. So you got to like this. You know, Coach Birch has gone 10 players deep tonight, and you got to think that's only going to get deeper. He's using this game for the opportunity to get guys some playing time, working out some kinks. Watts with the three.
Great job by Wachs to get up in front of the ball and Lopez to see him.
Hey, Wyatt's about ready to have a career-high game. He's sitting at 20 points right now.
Yeah. It's so true with really a handful of these Braves any given night. There you
Rebound
go.
Robinson out
That's
to
it.
Watts. He goes up, feeds it to Kane, who gets fouled on the shot. He'll be shooting too. So another senior out on the court who doesn't get a lot of playing time, Marion Kane, will be going to the line to put himself hopefully in the stat book tonight. Braves are up 54-18 with 59 seconds left here in the third quarter, folks.
You know, Rob, one of the things about Luke having such a good night tonight, a couple ways you can look at it. You can look at it and say, well, who's the post, counterpart for Redding? Well, the truth of it is in high school, there aren't going to be a whole lot of guys that look like Luke. The great thing to me that's really impressive is in a game, sometimes it's harder when you got a bunch of little guys running around and the game's up and down, and Luke has been able to compete in a way that is not favorable necessarily on its face, but he's shown great athleticism getting up and down the floor and has just had a great game. Sometimes it's harder to do it against smaller opponents.
Nice feed by, just couldn't complete it. Summerall's in there to compete. Off the mark, Robinson with the rebound. Walks coming up looking for Summerall's in the corner, wide open. Dishes out to Lopez.
Been several times tonight that Luke Robinson's been the rim protector that every basketball team loves to have. You want to pressure the basketball, you want to deny passing lanes, but if you get beat on the back end, it's awfully nice to have a rim protector.
Summerall with a three, and it's off the mark. The ball's going to be off of Summerall. It'll be Reading ball with 1.6 seconds left. The Braves are up 55-18. This game's being brought to you by our proud sponsors, Weiler Automotive, Valley Asphalt, Dial 1, Bob Summerall Tire, Huntington Bank, National Heating and Cooling, Grasscore, Sipsy Klein, Beacon Orthopedic. Thanks to Terry and all her hard work from Beacon Orthopedic, keeping these guys healthy.
Trey Lopez, end of the quarter. In a game, you're up 55-18. Guy gets a rebound or loose ball out of bounds. They call it the other way. They inbound it. Trey Lopez with a big Dikembe Mutombo type swing at the basketball. Coach looking at him. Hey, end of quarter. Hands up, get close, no foul. That's it. Trey Lopez, too much of a competitor, cannot give that shot in that situation.
First time.
Love it. Absolutely love it.
First time of the season, we have an all-senior team out on the court. We've got Trey Lopez, Jake Summerall, Marion Kane, Josh Young, and Amari Whitehead. So we got all three captains, Marion and Amari coming in for the Braves.
You got to love it, Rob. I mean, teammates earn playing time for teammates, and the Braves have done that tonight. They've just played good basketball without worrying about the scoreboard.
Rebound Lopez.
And it's been good enough to open this game up and give a lot of guys opportunity as we thought it might.
Marion Kane goes up. It's off the mark. Ball rebounded by Redding. Redding pushing it up. Lopez with another rebound.
Oh.
Summerall in and
yes, sir.
Gets the blocking foul. He'll be at the line shooting two. Let's see if those 1,000 points this summer pay off.
Yeah, well, you know what? Just love the fact he could have settled for the three, but he said there's more to his game, and he decided to take that ball to the bucket. I love it.
And I know how hard he's been working on that part of his game.
Yeah.
Spending hours by himself with a trainer in the gym because he wanted to be a part of this team.
Well, Robin, the world will tell you that, you're a great shooter. Why don't you stand in the corner? The world will tell that to you. And as a young player, Jake just never bought in. Said, hey, look, I can shoot it, but I can do so much more. And love the fact that he just went to the line. That's terrific.
Young calling out the moves.
And these guys expand their game. We talked about Wyatt Walks in the summer and how much he expanded his game. These guys are all in the process. They're babies. These guys are high school kids. They're always getting better and doing things you don't know that they can do.
Young with the ball from Lopez, feeds it right back to Lopez. Lopez to Young. Young's going to go up, dishes it out to Whitehead. Whitehead up, off the mark.
Good pass. Like to see all these Braves look at the basket when they catch the ball. Marion Kane in particular, look at the basket. We want to see Marion let one go.
Young draws the foul from Reading. It'll be Braves ball. That'll be Young will be at the line shooting. That's their 9th foul. Should be a shooting foul.
Mac Durbin going to come in for Maury.
Young will be at the line shooting. A one-on-one.
Well, let's see who the Trey trying to steal the deal.
I think Josh is trying to give the deal.
Those are two guys that played together a long time. They know each other. I think the referee looked and said, what's going on here?
Mac Durbin with the attempted steal. Luke Fulke comes in for the Braves, a sophomore, number 11.
Tell you what, you're going to see quite a bit of Luke Fulke in future years.
I like his game.
Yeah, it's terrific. Luke can compete at this level. There's no question.
Young with a man move off the mark. Rebounded by Mack. Young gets called for a hold call there.
Yeah, the thing I really appreciate about Luke Fulke's game, Luke, one of the guys that understands the benefit of being low. You don't always see it on defense, but you see it with his offense, getting the ball low to the floor. Enables you to get to places and look quicker than you otherwise would.
Summerall with the steal, but quickly picked back up. Going to be off of Summerall.
Yeah, Coach Stidham imploring the refs to keep calling fouls, even at this point in the game with the game the way it is. I agree with that.
And the Reading fans go crazy.
A little chicken wing there.
Chicken. It was a winner chicken dinner.
Yeah.
That's a Deer Park thing. Chicken on the run.
Chicken on the run is a good spot.
Got to go to Chicken on the Run.
You know, if you're only a couple blocks from Chicken on the Run. Whoa. Yeah, starting to get a little physical underneath. And I think a lot of guys right now, you know, some of these guys, younger guys, particularly on Reading, looking for part in that rotation playing time. And part of the way you get it is go in and really compete and play harder than the guys that played in front of you. And right now, I think the officials should recognize it and keep these kids healthy as we get toward the end of 2019. Going to have a few days off. Going to enjoy some family time, and you'd like to get there in one piece. Good help by Mack.
Got Matthew Fife in there.
Mac Durbin with really good help on the other end. Oh, Matthew Fife let me tell you, that's another one. Great take by Mack. He's going to get to the line. Love this. These Braves getting to the line. Josh, Mack, Jake, a lot of guys going to the line. We talked about Luke Folke. That's the guy you're going to hear a lot from. And you're going to hear that for the next 2 years and this year as well. Matthew Veith, next year and this year, but next year in particular, you're going to hear a lot from Matthew.
And what's amazing is how new he is to the game of basketball.
Yeah.
He's really coming into this game with about 2 years of experience. He didn't play a lot of youth basketball.
Yep.
He hasn't played any AAU, but he brings length, and it'll be interesting to see how Coach Birch uses him and Luke next year.
Yeah.
Because you could theoretically have one of the tallest starting lineups in the city with those two out on the court.
Well, you could, but I think, there are some things, to your point, skill set wise,
absolutely,
that Matthew could bring to this. One, being a rim defender, two, being a transition guy. This guy runs up and down the floor extremely well, and he finishes at top speed. And that's a hard thing to do when you're that long.
Well, and he's just starting to realize.
Yeah. Well, and he's a guy, to your point, that didn't play a lot as a youth, and also didn't have a lot of adults telling him that he was the greatest player since Michael Jordan.
No.
Matthew Veith comes to work every day, listens to his coaches, works hard, is at practice all the time. And he's a well-rounded kid. This is a guy that's an Eagle Scout. He's got a lot of other things going on, but he gives basketball everything he's got when he's there.
You got to think that between this season and next season, that young man is going to put some weight on.
Yeah. Yep, got to get strong.
But his footwork, if there was one thing that he brings to the game that is incredible for his size, is his footwork.
Yeah, I hope we get a chance to see the little, right hand over the left shoulder here. 5-7 feet. Anybody can do it right at the cup. Matthew can do it 5 to 7 feet, and it looks really good. But like all big guys, you got your good days and you got your not so good days. It's hard. The consistency level is harder for a guy that size.
So like you said, Brian, the Braves, are going to be sitting very nicely,
yes,
coming into
good look, good cut, Jake.
We have a 29-28 game in the third quarter at Deer Park.
Well, let me ask you something, Rob. Where did Matt Rooks play his high school basketball?
I believe Deer Park.
No.
Played
at Moeller High School.
But
he didn't play at Moeller 2018, 2019. He played at Moeller
1918.
in the 90s. Yeah. So, different time, run you over with a tank at 5 miles an hour and crush every bit of you. And I love that. 29-28.
So we got another senior out on the floor. You got David Halbrin. I like giving senior. Oh, look at that, up and out by none other than Matthew Veith.
And we kept possession. Bill Russell style, we kept possession.
Got Antoine Peets out on the court.
Yep, Robbie Gutman, David Heilbrith.
David Halbrith is the only senior out on the.
There it is.
There it is.
Just talking about that.
The hook.
Right hand over the left shoulder from 5 to 7 feet. I'm telling you.
That's going to be a killer next
year.
You
can get the ball there every time you want it, and if you can make the shot, nobody can guard it. Love it. Love it. David Heilbrith, you talk about a guy that you wish you lived next door to. What a solid guy. That's a guy you can say, hey, I'm in Aruba. It occurs to me I've left the stove on. I've got $10,000 I didn't deposit that's on the dining room table. Well, $10 on the dining room, whatever. And you can say,
I got a dime on the dining room.
Yeah, I got a dime on the dining room table because I'm in Aruba. I spent all the money there. But David Halbrin's that guy you can trust with anything. Love that kid. Get it. Yes, sir. You know,
David Halbert. So
all these guys getting to the line, too. I love it.
And to your point, here's a kid who came out his freshman year and didn't care whether he got on the court or not. He just wanted to be a part of this team. Came out his sophomore year, same attitude. Coach, I just want to be a part of this team.
Yeah.
Junior year, I just want to be a part of this team. And here he is, a senior, very easily, he's got some small D3 schools that are looking at him for baseball. He's a good baseball player. He could very easily say, I'm not going to waste my time with basketball.
Well,
what does he do? He comes out and says, Coach, I just want to be a part of this team.
And this crowd rewards him. True to his mature nature for his age, he gets what that experience is about. He gets it. And he could take all these guys out on the baseball field and reverse the roles on them in 1 minute.
So did you see that? Another block shot by Mikey Fife, and he actually got it stuck in the rim. So it's a jump ball.
Yeah.
It goes to the Braves. I don't think he'll actually get credited with a block, but he should.
And this guy, Antoine Peak, you talk about a guy that has not even come close to growing into what he's going to be.
Yeah, just take a look at his dad.
Yeah, I mean, but look at him. He looks, he's such a young-looking sophomore. And right now, fearless, take the ball to the basket, compete at a high level, take anybody off the dribble. Tremendous. The sky's the limit for him as well. Bright days for the Braves. And then, of course, the other guy we got on the floor right now, the great Jack Twyman's grandson, Robbie Gutman.
Yep.
And Robbie Gutman's got a nose for scoring like his grandfather.
So the Braves are going to take this game with under a minute to the scorebook with a win. That'll put the Braves at 4-2 on the season, with their next game on Friday night here at Tomahawk's Gymnasium. I thought I was out in the stadium. Here at Indian Hill Braves Gymnasium. Oh. And look at that bench.
And that would have been great, but what I love is all these guys getting to the line. Anybody can shoot from a distance uncontested. David Halbert got to the line tonight, and I think that's huge.
Gutman got beat underneath, and
this crowd wants one more attempt.
So the Braves are going to take this into the record book at a 61-27 win to go 4-2 on the season. Next home game is right here in Indian Hill Gymnasium on January 3rd before we come back from Christmas break. Hopefully we'll be bringing that to you live here on IHTN. Again, I'm Rob Young with Brian Shaw bringing this game. Hats off to our crew tonight and our advisor, Mr. Dupps.
Thanks for putting up with my voice, Rob. And I'd like to
Brian,
wish
anytime.
all the Indian Hill fans, grandparents, the cousins, everybody watching, a very Merry Christmas.
So thanks to Steve Overberger, our producer and director, Will Church, our technical director, Mr. Dutz handling our graphics, Mr. Overberg handling the replay, our camera operators, Harris Scott, Daniel Gibson, and I'm Rob Young with Brian Shaw signing out here tonight. Stay brave, stay proud. Good night, folks.
Exclusive coverage of tonight's game on the Indian Hill Television Network has been a copyrighted presentation of the Indian Hill High School Video Department.